Now, broadcasting on Radio Star Worldwide, it's time for Dr. Rademakers' Prescription for Transformation. Let's tap into your own authentic genius and live the life you desire.
You are now listening to
Join Dr. Rademaker for an enlightened conversation about our brain intelligence, our body intelligence, and our energy intelligence. And now, here's your host, Dr. Bart Rademaker.
Welcome. This is Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation. And this is really an exciting day and a breakthrough for me as well, because I'm having this radio show live at a great event. And I want to share a little bit about that event, but I'm really delighted to be joined by one of my guests today, and that's Aaron Orpelli. And love to have you get to hear the magnificence and the great things that he's actually being able to do, and how he can also change your life in places that you get stuck. And that's what this show is really all about. This show is about that intelligence that's around us that we just don't know is there. And so by not knowing that it's there, then the key is, what is it that we can find out? What is it that we need to do to make sure that you do get that information? That's the platform that I'm on right now. And right now we're at this great event by Craig Duswalt, and it's his personal growth event and living that rock star life that you desire. And it's an incredible event with incredible speakers and incredible opportunities for us to be able to grow. And it's really all about that, is understanding those areas, those spots, those blind spots that you just don't know about until someone is able to share them with you, to ask the right questions so that you can then start discovering the solutions that are going to be right for you. And there's one area in our life, and as a plastic surgeon, I get to understand this because I've been in the medical world for a long time, is there's an area in our life that really blocks our ability to create the life that we desire, and that's our health. And if we're not in tip-top shape, then what happens is that we can't manifest the life that we really desire. And it's interesting, in my perspective about allergies, is one where if our body is overwhelmed, and then we get overwhelmed by all sorts of allergies, and having an overwhelmed immune system really prevents you from also doing the things that you want in your life, because your body's not functioning in the right way. And so today, I'm excited to be talking to Dr. Orpelli regarding allergies, because he's got the pathway for you to be able to conquer this situation that's stopping you from being all the things that you want. Because allergies, when you have allergies, they can be extremely limiting. So Aaron, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
So tell me, where is your practice and what is it that you actually do?
My practice is in Los Angeles in the Miracle Miles. And what do? I help people to eliminate and stop the suffering from allergy permanent for life.
And how do you do that?
This is a very good question, because I study many different methods that help to change allergy, because the bottom line, allergy in some level is error in the brain. Because, for example, if somebody allergic to peanuts, but everybody else and most of us can eat peanuts without reaction, but some people can eat peanuts and it can be deadly. They can be anaphylactic reaction, and if we don't react right away. And in my experience, I can take this kind of patient that I just did a blood analysis with a kid 3 years old that now is allergic to peanuts in class 1 in the lower number, and we took it from class 4. So I all the time check it with blood analysis to make sure that the results actually physically and by different part of the process of the elimination. Is a few techniques that I use. Technique number 1 called NAET, Napa Allergy Elimination Technique, that is involved with chiropractic, acupuncture, homeopathic, diet, and kinesiology. And then we have the second step. We support the immune system with homeopathic to deal and to eliminate this allergy. And after we succeed to eliminate it, we actually clean all the pipes in the body. We do detoxification on the body. And then we reprogram the body and the mind to health. Because the identity of this person for so many years was to be sick. Their really identity to be sick can bring back sicknesses before. So we want to change it by teaching them to relax and reprogram the mind to health. And the step number 4, if we have any emotional attach to the allergy that can activate stimulation to the allergy reaction, but we cannot find it on the blood analysis, I remove it with a specific technique called NET. And this is the 5 steps that I do with my patient, and I have fantastic results because kids and adults actually transform. Even the medical approach is you cannot change IgA because it is antibody for life. And I see it in the lab. The first lab was thinking that they make mistake when they didn't want to give me the second results because they thought something is mistake, they want to repeat it. But after they realized that the technique actually changed the IgA, now they are releasing the results much faster. And they say, oh, okay, another situation like before.
So
this
what
is-
what you do is really life changing because share with the audience right now. I mean, what's the real significance of having those allergies? I mean, how does it really prevent, living the life that you desire?
Well, if we look on the long run, the immune system is actually the protection that protects us from outside. It protects us from any virus, bacteria, parasite, toxic, or that can attack us, or protect us from any duplication of the cells in the body that create cancer cells. So basically, when the immune system function less, this is mean that the immune system actually compromise. When the immune system compromise, it can go to the next level that can create autoimmune disease. And after autoimmune disease, it doesn't recognize the cancer cells. The cancer become like the coding in the body. And now the body has a cancer and the immune system doesn't even know that it has it. All these start small steps with time. As we know statistically that the cause number 3 in the United States of death is cancer. By making the immune system really work correct, and the body is very strong, and the mind communicate with the immune system and the endocrine system, we can protect ourselves and preventing sickness or serious illness in the future.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And the truth is that you're a real life changer and you change lives.
Thank you.
So a quick question, and I'm very grateful for you to be on this radio show because it's all about new voices and new solutions so that people can hear that. So you're at an event, Craig Duswalt's personal growth event, and what is your experience with this kind of stuff? I mean, how life-changing is this for you, or why is it that you're here?
The truth is, I all the time believe that we should learn and improve ourselves for life. This is the reason we are here, to become better as whatever we do and better people. So for me, for the last 30 years, whatever I have excuse to improve myself or learn something new to become better in what I'm doing, I take advantage. And this was for me a great way to take advantage. I closed my office for 1 week and I'm spending the time here to become better person so I can be better person, better doctors, better friends, better husband, better parent.
Dr. Orpelli, I really want to thank you, and I want to honor you too, because as a physician, you're a unique individual who's out there wanting to improve themselves. Because traditionally, most of us in the medical field, we've studied so many years and we figured out, okay, this is it, but you're going that level beyond. And I really want to honor you and I want to thank you. And I look forward to having a full hour radio show with you in the future and some of the Blab events that I'll be doing, because it's really my desire on this platform to share the word that you have. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much too.
All right, Dr. Orpelli.
Have a great day.
This is
Bye-bye.
Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, and really delighted to be welcoming my next guest, a gentleman that I really connected with right away, and it's just because of his charisma. Dr. Jeff Brown.
Yay!
Welcome,
Dr. Jeff!
welcome.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, man?
All right.
You all chilled and relaxed, huh?
I am. I'm wearing my cardigan sweater, and as you know, I'm 6'4", 240. So it's probably one of the bigger cardigans in existence. It's tough to find a cardigan that you can wrap around all this.
So does that mean you can't wash it because it's going to shrink?
That means that actually is true. I use woolite, which is not particularly masculine, but it is effective. It is effective in air drying. To all you double extra large cardigan wearers in the Dr. B Rad audience, air drying and woolite are your salvation for not shrinking your clothes.
Well, please, listeners, take note of that because, especially for your manly men. So, Jeff, I just met you here at Craig Duswalt's personal growth event,
Correct.
and as well as the mastermind group. And tell the listeners first a little bit about you,
Right.
and because I actually don't know anything about you, so I want to know myself.
Okay. This is super fun. It's a great story. So, about 5 years ago, I found myself fresh out of Georgetown Medical School in my intern year of a surgery residency, and I realized that I was 70 pounds overweight and I was not particularly happy, and I felt like I didn't have freedom in my life, right? And so you remember those
Oh,
from
yeah.
your surgery residency days, your Q3, your
Right.
every third night you are in the, you're spending the night at the hospital, or maybe just, now with the
Well,
80 hour,
72 hours.
right,
Hmm.
right. Well, you trained before the 80-hour work week
That's right.
rule, so that now it's a lot more humane, but even still,
So he's a lot younger and better looking than I am.
emphasis on the both.
Right.
Both of those. I accept those. Thank you. I realized that I was always going to work for someone else, and my own health was taking a back seat to, um, the practice of medicine. So I think a lot of us feel this way. A lot of people in the what I call the caring professions, or so social workers and teachers um, and healthcare professionals. It's almost like a part of you being a service to others is you kind of neglecting yourself. And I realized that there had to be some other way, right? So I decided that I was going to leave residency and learn about all the things I didn't learn in medical school, which were how to run a business, how to do something that's scalable, how to honor myself, right? How to serve my purpose in a way that was in integrity with my authentic self. So one thing about a lot of us is, especially in the helping professions, you have a purpose, and you actually, which I think you should be commended for, you take steps to work towards living your life, in accordance to that purpose. You want to help people. So that is to say, you want to help people, so you do a job where you help people. But as healthcare evolves and things change, then you can't always help people on your own terms, right? You're not doing it you're serving your purpose, but not in a way that's in line with your authentic self. Because your authentic self might want to spend time with your wife or your kids, or find a wife or partner and kids to have. And as you know, yeah, I would look around and see older physicians, and their marriages were unhappy, their families were unhappy, and their time wasn't their own. So I went about looking for ways to serve my purpose in integrity with my authentic self, and uh, and also and so that I realized that was going to require learning about business stuff, which was
Right.
almost like a bad word in medical school.
It's like a swear word, right?
Right. Like you never want to say, "Oh, this is cool." Thanks, Dr. Leibowitz, for having me on your urology rotation. How much do you guys make? Right? You don't want to say that. So,
Because that was always below us. That was just like an area that we weren't
right,
supposed to talk about.
right. You're here to save lives,
Right.
um, but not make your own life comfortable or enjoyable. So,
So what is your purpose?
so My purpose is to give people what I wish that somebody would have given me at that time,
Right.
which is freedom, and to feel good enough to enjoy that freedom while I serve my purpose. At that time, I already had my purpose. Oops. At that time, I already had my purpose, but I didn't have a way to serve it. I didn't know a way. I knew what my purpose was, but I didn't know a way to serve that purpose in a way that allowed me to have freedom and also feel good.
And that's great because it's really all about, and we were talking today and Craig's event, your mess is your message. And it's the first time I've heard it that way. And I love that statement
It's a great statement.
because it's that struggle that we have in life.
Right.
And when it's that struggle, then that's where we get to learn and that's where we get to make the changes.
I agree. Can I say this? I think that sometimes we feel like we get so caught up in the experience of in the experience of our struggle that we forget to realize that none of our struggles are unique to us. So I think that's the importance of your message being in your mess. It's a message that needs to be heard because there are countless other people that are sharing that same struggle.
Right. Too scared to admit it as well.
Right. And so then you can so that's a big part of why I encourage people to share their story, because then that does two things. One, so overwhelm and isolation are the two places that I really want to, touch people's lives when they're at that point. So one, when you experience your own struggle, let's say an illness with a relative, then you feel like it's only you, right? You've heard other people lose their mom, but that's not your mom, right? It's only you. So then when people get to share that story, they get to feel like their suffering wasn't all for naught. They feel validated. The other part of that win-win is then when the other people who are listening to that story, when they get to hear that story, then they get to know that it's not just them and they don't feel isolated. So it's kind of like the win-win. Right. So anyway, so that's the basis for one of my projects called Sick of Being Sick, where
Sick of being sick, right?
Sick of being sick, where I have where we allow people to share the stories of their struggles with being a caretaker or being the sufferer of a chronic or fatal illness themselves. But to get back to the earlier focus, so what I got from my story was I'm going to change what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to change what I'm doing, and this is something that I didn't realize, and I like to tell other people: you have permission to use your unique skill sets and your accomplishments in a non-traditional way. I thought the only thing that I could do with a medical doctor is do episodic, with a medical doctor background, is do episodic patient care.
Right.
It turns out that you can also share, instead of 15 minutes at a time giving the same, diabetic or hypertensive patient education lecture, you can share that with thousands of people who won't get to a clinic, right? So I show entrepreneurs, health, wellness professionals, and creatives, so people who I like to call heart-centered solopreneurs, how to create freedom and incorporate wellness into it. Make sure to take care of yourself as well. Make sure to take care of yourself. Make sure to take care of yourself as well, right? And so there are a lot of business coaches out there or life coaches, but they don't include the two things most of us suffer from, which is lack of freedom and lack of health.
You're a really charismatic guy, and
Thank you.
I really look forward to helping you build your business, support your business, getting you back on my radio show. We'll have a full hour that we can talk about everything. And so just for today, somebody wants to find out where you are. What is your website?
JeffBrownMD.com. JeffBrownMD as a medical doctor.com. You sign up for my Inspire list. You'll get to hear more about what I'm doing.
And where are you located, Jeff?
In just north of Los Angeles, California, in a suburb.
Hey, Jeff, it's been a real honor and pleasure to have you on my show, and I really look forward to working and collaborating and doing all sorts of cool stuff together with you, because that is truly an inspiration for others so that they can change your life. So thank you so much.
I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate that. And since there's not a laugh track, I'm just going to give myself some applause as I leave.
There you go. All right. So this is Dr. Bart Rademacher here at Craig Duswalt's personal growth weekend. And we're just going to go into a real quick break. But after the break, I'm going to be inviting Mr. Chris Kopp, Resort Real Estate Agent System for Success. A really dynamic guy I met a couple of months ago. Really excited to have him on the show. And so that you can hear the magic that he's able to create for people within the world of real estate. We'll be right back right after these messages.
We'll be back with Dr. Rademacher right after these. Do you like the rock and roll way of doing things? How would you like to learn how to apply them to your business? Then tune in to the Tim Gillette Radio Show every Tuesday on Radio Star Worldwide. Tim Gillette is the creator of Rock and Roll Keys to Business Success, using music, motorcycles, and mentorship to teach entrepreneurs to become leaders in their industry. Join Tim and his guest every Tuesday at high noon Eastern on Radio Star Worldwide. Stand Up and Speak Up with host Walt Grassel, sharing stories of people who have taken steps to overcome their fears and now lead stronger, more fulfilling lives. Are you ready to take that first step towards a different life? Join Walt as he shares his tales of triumph over stage fright and public speaking. Walt has performed stand-up comedy at the Hollywood Improv, as well as the Flamingo in Las Vegas, and wants to help you conquer whatever is holding you back. Join him and his guests for Stand Up and Speak Up every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Radio Star Worldwide and on demand 24/7. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
Welcome. This is Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, at a phenomenal event held by Craig Duswalt Marketing. And he's got this personal growth event. It's a stellar event with incredible people and incredible insights as to what is it that you can do to have better access to the life that you desire. And it's really about, finding out what's going on in your life. What can you do to change your life? And it's about asking those right questions. And so in particular, the platform that I have here as well is really real people, real conversations, really understanding what the rest of the world of successful entrepreneurs are doing, but you just don't get to hear them all the time. And these are ordinary people living extraordinary lives. That's you, that's me, and that's what's exciting. And what I'm excited about today is having as a special guest, and that's Chris Kopp. I met him a couple of months ago, very dynamic fellow, and he's got a fascinating story and a fascinating business. And I'd like to welcome Chris. Welcome, Chris.
Welcome. Thank you, Bart. Appreciate that.
So share with the listeners, what is it that you do, and I love what you do, by the way.
Well, thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And my name is Chris Kopp, and I'm the creator of the Resort Real Estate System for Success, how to become a top market. But it's really the culmination of 30 years of being at events like you said, Craig Duswalt's Personal Growth Weekend, and investing in myself and being, sort of a student of the game. I've been in sales and sales management my entire career. I spent 20 plus years in the technology industry as a sales rep, as a sales manager, as a regional manager, having $100 million revenue responsibilities and almost 100 people reporting to me in many different capacities, and startup mode in more mature businesses. So I've always been, from a personal growth perspective, always tried to, figure out what are the things that I can do to learn, to be ahead of the game, to be on top of the game, to be somebody that is not just smart, but working hard and working smart and inspiring others, and being somebody that's, understands the value of customer service and customer satisfaction, because, whether I'm in a technology growth mode or I'm in my own resort real estate business in Crested Butte, Colorado, customer satisfaction is how you grow your business. That's a platform for growing your business, and the way you satisfy customers is, we all can't know every single thing, but a great way to through personal development, personal growth, attending seminars, continuing education, all the things that we need to do to know our skill and our craft, but also, those customer service situations where you have to say, you know what, that's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm going to find out. And then using that as a platform to go find out the answer and come back to your client and provide, that great customer service, because you can't know every single thing,
Right.
With any discipline. So,
But it's really all about developing that relationship. And that relationship, I mean, the fundamental part of a successful relationship is that they trust you, right?
that's absolutely true, and you have to build that. I talk about in my system, the building that I call it the trust ladder. Because people have to get to know you, they have to get to like you, and then they have to get to trust you, and then they may trust you, but they may not trust you with their business, or in your past experience, with their health and their body, and those are big decisions, whether it's financial or it's personal, but they have to trust you. And so earning that trust gives you the ability then to say, you know what, I need to go do more, and to be transparent and real with your clients, to say, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm going to go find out. And typically you've been through enough scenarios where you kind of understand what the answer is, but you might have to go verify, or you also need to make sure you're okay to say, look, I'm not, and I say this often, I'm not a real estate attorney, and I'm not a CPA. So those questions, are for a specialist. I'm not a title agency. I'm not a title company. I'm not a property manager. I'm not a contractor. I'm not a plumber. I don't know about, the intricacies of foundations. I don't know about the soil sample.
So basically what you're saying is you're just being authentic with who you are and not pretending to be somebody that you're not.
Absolutely. But you also need in your business, whatever your business is, whatever you're doing, to build those resources around, and refer your client to other people, or bring those resources to bear. And those are other trusted advisors that you have that shortcut the situation for your clients. So what I always say is, if we can help other people get what they want and help them make informed decisions, then we are being of service to other people, and we will be very successful if we just do that.
And it's interesting you say that, because that's the mantra of the day today, is help people get what they want first, and you'll get everything that you want. But it's coming out from a place where it's coming from your heart. And that's one thing that I see you, and what I really respect and honor about you is your authenticity, and the fact that you're just a very approachable guy. You're really laid back, and it's really easy to connect with you. And in this world of investments, real estate, whether stocks or anything else, or even just going to Best Buy, and even I feel sometimes threatened, because there's these people, they're like vultures, they're coming down to you because the only thing that they're interested in is they're interested in themselves.
Yep.
They're interested in the sale. They really don't care about you. And so it's really hard when you're coming from that place of uncertainty as well as ignorance, that you don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about you, and what I noticed about you right away, and for your listeners, this is what you start looking for when Chris is talking about customer service, and the fundamental about customer service is that you get to be able to trust that person, and you're the kind of guy that you could trust right away. So if we were on video, you'd see why. I won't try to explain.
I'm
what
really
he
a
looks
good-looking
like.
guy. That's what he's trying to say.
He's just like Jeff. He's better looking than I am. So, but you've got a unique proposition, if you will. I mean, you're in resort real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is that, and what makes that different?
Yeah, it's a different business. I mean, I'm in the residential real estate business. The majority of our transactions are to second homeowners or retirees. So it's a second home in a resort market is not something anybody needs to have. Unlike a permanent residence, where those buyers are looking for a home, in a school district. Their kids, they care about the kindergarten teacher, or the whoever's the head of the PTA, and all of the things that go around what we're selling in the resort market is really a lifestyle, and it's a place. It's really not even the home that's as important as the lifestyle. It's a place where people can bring family, friends, and clients, that they can create lifetime memories. And that's really the affinity that we share. I was a second homeowner in Crested Butte for 10 years before we moved there full time, and before I became a real estate agent in 2009. In a very short period of time, I became the #1 real estate agent in my market because of some of those things that you said. I could relate with other people. I've been in your shoes. I understand some of your issues and your challenges. And then I went to work to try to fill in the gaps of all the skills and the things that I needed to really help them to get what they want. But it is a different market. The real estate market in resort town is different. I work with clients over many years before they find the perfect home. Sometimes people come in immediately and they're able to, identify what they want and they can find it, and financially they're ready. But a lot of clients aren't, and so you have to have, that long-term view and that long-term perspective, and really working on their behalf over a long period of time to service that client.
So really what you're doing is, the real business that you're in is you're creating a beautiful lifestyle and a safe haven for people to go to.
It is. Well, it's wonderful to get that opportunity and blessing to be able to help folks to do that, and then to see them, as buyers leveraging that. And then on the seller side, the biggest question I ask is, what's the next chapter in your life? If you're selling your home here, what are you going to do? And they're so excited to talk about, their grandkids or this next venture, this next chapter. And, so that's the motivating factor, that I'm helping them, turn that page and move on, and, help them be successful in the sale of their home as well. So, it involves a lot of questioning and a lot of marketing and a lot of things that you got to do, a lot of details, but, it's something I really enjoy, and, I've been blessed to be good at it.
So before we wrap it up, Chris, do you have a couple of systems or programs that you promote that people can sign up for?
I do, yeah. If you go to resortrealestatecoach.com, that's resortrealestatecoach.com, you'll see, and I have a radio show, Resort Report, on the Star Worldwide Network as well. It's every Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. But my system for success, I have a book, I have a fast start guide, and I have an audio CD series. I'm going to be doing boot camps in the fall and additional coaching, one-on-one coaching, as well as an online academy. But the key is I've created a lot of systems that have been very successful for me, things that I've built over 30 years in my sales and marketing career. I've been an entrepreneur, in a couple different businesses. So I understand a lot of the challenges that the real estate agent has in the resort market, and my system helps those agents to transform their real estate business and their life so they can begin to live the dream in their resort town.
Awesome. So can you mention the website again, Chris?
I can. It's resortrealestatecoach.com.
Great. And I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation, talking to Chris Kopf right here, and Resort Real Estate Agent and System for Success. And anyone who has any desire to get into this, he's the guy to go to. He's got a phenomenal program. He's got a great book. He's a really dynamic person, but more than anything else, he's the guy that you can trust. And in this world today, that is such a valuable asset to have someone on your team that you can totally trust and get the results that you desire. I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation. We'll be right back after these messages.
We'll be back with Dr. Rademaker right after these. It's people's secrets that make them interesting. People have been trusting their secrets to longtime business journalist Judy Schreiner for the last 25 years. And now you can hear them too on Radio Star Worldwide every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So have you been to the Horse and Cow yet? The Horse and Cow is a bar that caters to the submariner fleets and has been doing it for over 60 years. They've been in San Diego, San Francisco, Bremerton, and Guam. Today, they are famous for their burgers and hot wings and their signature drink, New Quaist. On their show, they talk with the brewing houses and distillers, liquor distributors, and patrons of the Horse and Cow. Yes, the Horse and Cow has a reputation for being an off-the-hook bar for submariners. but everyone is welcome. So pull up a chair and join the fun. And if you can't make it to the Horse and Cow Live, listen every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Radio Star Worldwide. It's happy hour at the Horse and Cow. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
Yes, hey, this is Dr. Bart Rademacher, just flagging down my next guest, but she just ran away. Prescription for Your Transformation. I had a great event, Craig Duswalt, Personal Growth Weekend, and I'm really excited with a very, very, very special guy that actually I've just seen from a distance, really saw his energy, his charisma, and just an incredible fellow, and I don't even know him. So this is a guy that you guys really want to watch out for because he is going places. And you can tell this, when you meet people, when you see them from distance, you're around them, you see how they integrate with the rest of the people, and this guy is going places. So Luis, I'm very excited to have you on my show.
Amigo Bart, thank you for having me, man.
So
Pleasure.
tell me, my friend, now you have to back up what I just said. So,
I do.
So go ahead.
So I'll start off with the reason you actually saw me from across the room is because I had this bright blue shirt on and matching shoes to go along with it, right? But, you touched on the thing with entrepreneurs. And when we have a message or whatever business you're in, right, especially if you're a personal brand, it's like you got to carry that everywhere with you, right? Not only on your business card or on your website, but people have to see that same energy. I just got done interviewing Janie Leidy on camera here, and she is a perfect example of that, right? You're a great example of that. Your energy's out there, and you just get that good sense of this person knows what they're talking about, they're grounded, right? And I can trust them. And ultimately, as business owners, that's what we want to do is develop trust in our brands. And so I'm glad you noticed that.
I'm glad
Yes.
too. And it's right what you said about trust. And I was just talking to Chris Kopf, and he's like in the service industry and in real estate, and same thing. It's all about having that trust, and it really comes down to what you just said, being grounded, having that alignment, but having that authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And what my platform is really all about is simply this: is that if we don't know where we are in the world, right? If we don't know who we are, so it really starts off with our identity. But the big challenge is that we also don't know what we don't know. And so unless you're actively going after that, right, then you're going to be stuck.
Right.
And so you're a guy, you know who you are.
Yes.
So who is Luis?
Luis Mendoza is an extrovert.
Okay.
I love people. I love getting to know people. And in the things that you don't know about me is that I also act, right? And I'm in the film business. So that's one of my personal hobbies, personal goals, right? Mm-hmm. And it's showing up as who I am is really what the world rewards. And so that's what my message is, is that your life matters. You need to show up as who you are. A lot of times we spend time thinking, how do I differentiate myself? How do I make myself different than the competition, right? And our focus is totally misplaced. It should be about who I am, what do I like, how do I, walk in my life, how do I speak? And that's what it's about. So everyone I try to have a connection with, a conversation with, is really just to show them what they're worth. Right. And at the end of the day, even though I have a personal brand business, that's what we're trying to showcase, So I love popcorn. You guys ever want a quick way to my heart? Buy me some popcorn.
All right, well, note that one for Luis. And one thing that I have also realized is that we make so many apologies about who we are.
Oh, man.
And why not just own them? And I had an epiphany recently, and actually was going to a trip with a bunch of transformational leaders to Ecuador. And it was a mission trip that we were there. And my message to everyone there in this group was, I celebrate my faults and my weaknesses.
That's amazing.
It's interesting because most people don't get it. Most people think, well, you're just being naive and ignorant and in denial. And I tell him, I says, no, really.
Yeah.
It's that moment that I get to recognize I'm aware of the fact that I have these weaknesses. I have these faults. And this is my opportunity. This is actually the message for me to make a change in my life.
That's right.
And that's why I like what you just said, because it really resonates really well with me. And instead of trying to find out who we're not, it's all about just owning our own greatness, but also owning the bad parts.
The bad parts, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'll relate to that in a big scope, right? You know, Hollywood is a central part of the entertainment industry. And what I realized the first, 2-3 years I arrived here in Hollywood, and as I started my acting career, I always wanted to be like someone else who's already had an established career, right? Like Al Pacino or Robert De Niro. You start seeing, okay, what are they doing, right? That's working. Why are they getting, the deals, right? And quickly I started noticing that you can't be someone else. And when I started seeing new artists coming out, it was because they were just totally different. They did not resemble someone else, right? But we get caught up in that, not only in our personal lives, but in our business. Okay, if I go around and I see, oh, there's someone else who's a personal brand, well, what are they doing? No.
See, and that's
yeah.
interesting because it's really about, what are our standards? And, are we comparing ourselves with someone else? And if somebody else has something that we don't have, does that make us less?
Right. Yes.
And interesting, what happens is that so many people get upset, they get pissed off, they get critical and everything else.
They get down on themselves.
Get down on themselves. And then create all these limiting beliefs or blocks that don't help them, support them moving onwards in their life.
Yeah, they go down the rabbit hole.
They go down the rabbit hole.
They get triggered.
Right.
So not good enough. Yeah.
So, and I still get caught up on that once in a while.
It happens to all of us.
And so then when I look at someone like you, and I think to myself, well, here's a cool guy. What is it that he does that I can do? I mean, I'm modeling success. I mean, it's all about modeling success,
That's right.
seeing what other people are doing great, and then doing the same thing, rather than saying, well, you know what, he's so successful and I'm not. Well, he's not a nice person. And that's what happens all the time. So you're in the business to help people.
That's right.
What do you do?
I build personal brands.
Okay.
Right. I help them identify who they are and really bring that out, right, and make it the face of whether you're CEO, whether you're the owner of your small business. If you're the face of your company, it's all about you. Hide behind different things. They hide. They don't want to do videos, or they don't want to be the face on the homepage, right? They just hide. And that's a lot of limiting beliefs and thoughts, right? So in a personal brand, the most important thing that we have here is you. Like, you are it. I can find someone else, right, to write my book or to design my website. I can find someone else to give me that same product that 1,000 people are offering. What I cannot find is another Bart to do a radio interview with. I don't care how long I look for it. I cannot find someone else.
So what's it like when people figure that out with you, that they can be themselves? I mean, it must be magical.
It's a shift
Yeah.
that it first starts off this way, right? When we do a brand makeover with someone, right? We start off with a personal brand, meaning your persona, right? We sit down with a stylist, a wardrobe stylist. We sit down with my photographers and we take a look. How do we bring this character out, right? If we have to go to salon and trim the hair, do something different, vulnerable because they're starting to come out, but they've never let it out. So they're freaking out, right? There's a lot of resistance there. So it starts with resistance. Then it happens an emotional, I don't want to say breakthrough, but an emotional, it's like an emotional moment that they have, right? A breakdown. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. An emotional breakdown. Like, don't cry. Because for the first time, they're letting themselves come alive, right? And they're like, I've always wanted this, but I'm freaked out. Yeah. It's that moment, right? And then we built and implement this personality that we brought out. But I'll tell you what, Bart, it usually takes them some time to catch up with what we brought out. Right. For them to say, wow, yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. And owning it, right? One thing is like doing an awesome photo shoot and an awesome brand, but then you not owning it. Right. And you don't carry with it. People don't see the energy that it's aligned with it, right? Like you, You can walk around, you're casual, but you have this energy about you that you own it, right? That's the magic.
So
Yeah.
does it ever happen that you get this breakthrough and you're excited, they're excited,
Yeah.
but now they've developed this, I'm imagining, okay, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
projecting, and I could be completely off, but it's almost like, because I see this sometimes with myself, not myself, but in my experiences, where now you've created a new comfort bubble. Do they ever slide back?
All the time, all the time. And that's why you need to surround yourself with the support, right? So when I work in a program like that, when I'm really doing a brand makeover for someone, right? There's always about 3 to 4 months after we do that, and after it's been launched, after they're doing business with it, right? Of support, because what you find is they start falling back into old habits, right? They don't show up. They say, Luis, listen, I'm not having a good day today, but I have these big meetings with clients. How do I continue showing up in this energy, right? And that's just about a little more internal work, some exercises I give my clients to make sure they continue resonating at the higher level. But it happens all the time.
So pretty much you're their personal coach, right?
Yes, yeah. The first half is they come to me as, listen, I'm trying to build my business. And I will tell you, Bart, no matter how many brands I build, I'm always working at a personal level, whether it's a relationship with the family, a relationship with,
That's awesome.
Because that's where it all originates from. If I'm having trouble in my relationship or with my health, it's going to show up in my business. So I always end up working with them at a very personal level, right? So it's great, yeah.
So thank you, Luis. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
This is Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation. I'm talking to Luis Mendoza. And this is a guy that you're going to want to watch out for, because I can tell he's got a great vision. He's got great ideas. He's got great plans. So if somebody wants to find out more about you, where would they go?
Yeah, they can go to my website. It's my last name first, Mendoza, Mendoza, and then Luis, Luis.com. And you guys can find all of the types of programs I have there. You can see the work, and you just keep in touch. Say hello.
Awesome. Luis, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bart.
I look very much forward to working with you in the future.
Same here.
I think we have some similar ideas and
we do
ambitions that we could work together. And
the next show we do will be in Spanish.
All right,
for all you guys out there listening.
That's right. And then after that, we'll do in Dutch. That's my language.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go study.
There you go study. He'll probably learn it real quick, and he's a smart guy. Well, this is Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation. And we will be right back after these messages.
We'll be back with Dr. Rademacher right after these. If you are a family historian passionate about preserving and sharing family films and stories, a filmmaker wanting to move analog, legacy, or found footage into a digital project or documentary, a genealogy buff, memory keeper, or archivist, this show is for you. The Home Movie Legacy Project. Rhonda's passion for home movies and independent filmmaking stems from running Pro 8mm based in Burbank, known as the Super 8 experts for production and legacy footage for over 30 years. They have worked on thousands of projects for moguls and the masses, including Hollywood blockbusters such as Argo, Super 8, and JFK, TV shows, music videos, commercials, and the personal family film legacy of the world's most famous faces, industry icons, award-winning documentaries, and archival footage for the presidential libraries and museums. Each show will focus on compelling interviews with people who are telling their personal stories using home movies as a jumping-off point, sharing what was discovered or what was challenged or what was confirmed. Expert guests will share best practices to organize, digitize, socialize, and even monetize your old media formats, and cutting-edge ways to bring them back into your digital life. And don't miss the weekly Tech Talk segment featuring PhilVigent, the other half of the Pro 8mm story. Learn insider industry secrets of how to become head of your own studio. Don't miss the Home Movie Legacy Project, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Radio Star Worldwide. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
It's something at this event really resonated. And this is a personal growth event. And this is finding out the stuff that you don't know. And what you don't know that you don't know. And it's so important. It's so important to get those new voices. And that's totally what this platform is all about. So we're so focused on the first 40 or 50 years of our lives. What about the last 40? And since people are living a lot longer, it's really true that they're staying younger longer. And I guess 80 is or the 60 is a new 80 or whatever it is. I always get it wrong. But people are living longer lives. And so the key is, what do you do with that? And I'm thinking that Daryl Gurney does have that solution. And I'm delighted to have him join us today. Daryl.
Hi, Bart. Thanks for having me.
So share with us. I know we only have a couple of minutes, but I'm going to get you on one of my radio shows later on. But what do you do? What is this all about?
Well, what it's about, at 42, I was looking at my son in bed. I was in the middle of a $500,000 custody suit, and I just sold my house in a down market. And I thought, wow, is this what the second half looks like? And I was inspired in that moment. It just kind of came to me. The Back 40. And it kind of poured through me. The book is called The Back 40, 7 Critical Embraces for Life's Radical Second Half. And we've now turned it into a program. And what it's about, Bart, is what you just said is what we don't know, we don't know. You know, what if the first 40 or 50 years was really just research for what we really came here to do? What if it's the second half where we really get to play out big? See, so much in the Western culture has it that, you know, when you get into your 50s or 60s, you're kind of winding down. But what if that's bunk? And what if we were really doing these experiments? We were doing lab experiments for the first 40 or 50 years to find out, what are we really passionate about? What are our real proclivities and tendencies? Because how many of us know at 22 or 23 what we're here to do? You know, we just go get a degree in something or we go start in something, but it's those 20, 30 years that follow where we get to really find out what we're here, what we're about. But again, what happens is, you know that term midlife crisis? I actually call it midlife opportunity. Because if at that midpoint, we can really start to see, wow, what if I designed it all? And it's a real turn of thinking, because a lot of people have things that happen in that first half of life, or even at midlife, that the tendency is to be a victim. But what if you weren't a victim? And what if you really had a hand in designing it all so that you could actually devolve what I call your self-expression directives? What if your second half was about fulfilling on something that this first half gave you the opportunity to develop within yourself? And so, you know, that happened for me. And, you know, I'm actually turned on at 53 right now. I look at this next half as being the time where I really get to play. And I think that as a culture, especially with all I'd like to turn the whole term midlife crisis around to midlife opportunity. I call it your initiation, actually. In the book, I call it your initiation. It's when you can't go back to the way you were. And depending on how you handle it, it can either be your ticket to fulfilling on your purpose, or it'll be the thing that takes you down as a victim.
And what I could foresee that more often than not, it probably takes you down being that victim. I don't think people realize.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of ingrained in our culture that, you know, it's just going to happen. You're going to have this midlife crisis, you know, and you're going to just go off the reservation, you know, lose your relationships, do stupid things and everything else. And I like what you said, you know, this being that initiation. Because what's interesting is because in my belief is that a lot of people make this decision very early on in their life as what the rest of their life is all going to be about. You know, I decided when I was 13 that I was going to be a physician. And so it was almost like, okay, I decide then, and then I'm going on this path, this journey, and there's no side roads, there's no cross sections, there's nothing. It's just a path forward. And fortunate for me, because of my background, and I lived in 5 different countries, at the age of 22, I had already made that decision that I was going to practice actively until my 50s. And then after that, transitioned into something and expanded to something much bigger.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And so you're completely right on. And that's a wonderful message for people to realize. Because the truth, there's another truth within this, and I'm sure you write about this in your book, is that if we don't take care of our body as well, right, that back 40 is going to be kind of painful. So you really deserve to take care of yourself, because that's the magic. You know, we're in such a hurry to make all the big accomplishments and make all the $1 million, and you're nothing unless you've got your first million by the age of 30.
Yeah.
But that might be for a few people in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 0.001% or whatever. But the rest of us, we deserve that opportunity. And it's giving yourself permission to think that way. And that's what I respect about what you had to say.
Well, I appreciate that. And it really is about giving yourself permission. There's another author who wrote a book, and it was really about for CEOs and people who've done big things. Like you said, they made it big, and their tagline was from success to significance. But what for those of us who got into our 40s, 50s, and we don't really feel like we've made our footing yet, right? The tendency is to think, I'm too old,
Right.
or I missed it this
Right.
lifetime. What if that's not the case? What if that first half was just all an incubation period? And what if you can mine it to see what you're really here to do and then play out? See, not to get into politics, but I always like the biography of Armand Hammer. Armand Hammer had 5 different careers in his life, and he just fell over one day dead at 90 or something running Occidental Petroleum. Like, what if it wasn't about, oh, I'll retire and then I'll travel? Because I'm a career coach too, and I've worked with people around their careers for 20 years. And it's like people have this idea that when I have the Mai Tai or I'm playing golf, that's all that I want to do. No, people want to fulfill a purpose. And so if we can each get in touch with that playful, passionate, purposeful second half that we're here to live, I say, we are going to be living longer, and we just get to live fuller.
Yeah, what a great opportunity for all you older people so that you can then really live that life that you desire. And how we were going to wrap it up in about the next 30 seconds,
Yep.
Daryl. So how do people find you?
Theback40.com. They'll find me and my partner, Alexandra. She's comes out of corporate HR. I come out of years of coaching. And we're bringing this program out even more in 2016. We launched it last year, and we're really excited about the difference it's making for people.
Daryl, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation. Really looking forward to further conversations with you on this platform and others. And it's all about your back 40, and that's all about finding out what you don't know and really living that full life now and wherever you are. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher. Till next time. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. Join Dr. Bart Rademacher live right here on Radio Star Worldwide each week.